Hey, it's Clay, and welcome to the Follow Through, where we talk business, your business. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern, we're live on Facebook, and you can also catch every episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. All right, let's get right into it. Enjoy the show. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Looking forward to talking a little bit, sharing some ideas as to how you can help yourself remember to continue to follow up with people after you have those conversations and they're just not sure what they want to do or they need to think about it again. So, I mean, with that too, everything we do in our companies is all about communication. And I feel like everything that we do really in life and our companies too, it revolves around communication. And I feel like 90%, if not even more percent of your problems can be solved by communication, just by catching it at the pass, communicating before something happens. So, how's everyone doing this morning? It's really super chilly here. More like cold here in New Jersey. Freezing this morning. And it's only December. I feel like we should have a couple more weeks of a little more milder weather, but it got really cold. It's supposed to be a little bit warm this weekend, so hopefully it warms up a little bit. But we are in the winter time here, so it's time for snow. That's what I want. I want a little bit of snow, so. If you're just joining, drop a little hi in the comments there. Let me know you're here. How you feeling today? How you doing today? So, I mentioned just a second ago, if you're just hopping on, communication really is, I feel like, the forefront of everything that we do in our companies. The more you communicate, the better experience you create for your clients. Yeah. Hey, Laura, it is cold here on the East Coast. That's for sure. I really, like as I said, communication is huge. And just to share a little story about me and what happened to me really just in me calling a service to come out and help me. So here on the East Coast, we heat our homes with oil. I don't know what it's like across the rest of the country. I would imagine it's natural gas. No snow yet, Laura, no. So we have to order oil, and we only use oil to really for hot water. We use a different heat source, and it's not really the point. So I had to order some oil last week, so I don't have it on automatic delivery. I have to remember to do it because we only need it a couple times a year. So I had to order oil. We were getting pretty low, and I ordered it, I think, on the 29th or something. Ordered it, got my email saying it was ordered, blah, blah, whatever. And then just yesterday, I was like, you know what? I haven't gotten any communication from them. I don't know if they're coming. And now at this point, my oil level is getting really low because I forgot to order it earlier. So I was like super worried that I wasn't going to get my, I ordered it and I literally didn't think about it again for, what was it, 29. So there's 31, 2, 3, for 4 days. And I didn't know if I was getting my oil, and I was at the point where I didn't know if I'm going to run out of it, and I'm going to not have hot water, and my family's going to get mad at me because I take cold showers. So I called them in the morning, didn't get a response, had some things going on in the morning, and I was getting ready to call them again, and thankfully they showed up. But my point is, your clients have conversations with you, and then if you provide next steps or let them know what next steps are or don't, they're not going to remember, and it could be days before they remember. So the point of this story is you need to communicate with your clients, and you need to be consistent with communicating that stuff to your clients. So let's jump into some ways that you can facilitate this and and make sure you're consistent with your follow-ups so that you don't forget and you're doing the follow-ups with your clients, not them following up with you. So just a quick recap. On Monday, we did talk about our missed calls, how you can help alleviate that part of your business by implementing call centers. You can use voice AI, or you can hire an admin. And then on Wednesday, we kind of talked about that think about it leak and how to set yourself up and tee the next step up with your client. So now today, I want to talk about how to actually remember to do that and how you can make it actually easier for yourself to do that without having to remember. So as I've mentioned, and I'm going to keep drilling this home, we as service contractors lose so much money because we don't do this, because we're not following up. We're not following up with our next step. We're not teeing that next step up. And even if we do tee it up, we're not following through. So with random actions and random follow-ups comes random results. So if you're not consistently doing it, you're randomly doing it, and the results are completely random. If you're consistently doing it, you're going to have consistent momentum, and it's not going to die after a follow-up. So you want your follow-ups to not be optional. You want them to be mandatory. And we need to do this because, good morning, Zachary. We need to do this because if people aren't following up, people aren't going to follow up with you. You need to do it for them. And just like even back to that story, like I forgot my oil. I ordered my oil and I completely forgot about it. And by the time I remembered, I was almost out of oil, but then they happened to show up, which was good for me because I didn't run out of oil and run out of hot water. But when you leave the ball in any client's court, your momentum's going to completely disappear. And it's not because they're not interested. It's because they forget, life gets in the way, and things happen. So you need to start and you need to build yourself a follow-up rhythm, not a memory rhythm where you're like, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll shoot them a message later. I'll remember, because you're not going to remember. And you might remember sometimes, but other times you're going to remember at random times, like in the middle of the night. You're going to wake up, be like, oh man, I got to freaking call this person back. I never did that today. So then you got to remember to do it tomorrow. And how are you going to remember to do it tomorrow? You might even set reminders for yourself. I don't know about you, but reminders become white noise to me because you're going to get a reminder at a random time of day and you're going to forget anyway. Unless you have a specific day or time where you actually sit down and do this. And if you do, that's great. You go through your leads and you do what you need to do. But you might not. So we need to create that rhythm and create a way for you to do this in a consistent manner. Now, if you're using something like Kairu or some kind of other automated system, you can do this in a completely automated way. Today, I'm really going to talk about a couple of ways you can do this if you don't have a system like that set up yet. So the first thing you want to do, and everybody can do this, and if you don't know how to do it, you can Google it. You want to create email templates in your email server. So if you're using Google, if you're using Gmail, or if you're using Outlook, or any kind of email server, you should be able to create email templates. And if you can't create them embedded in there, create them in a note or a sheet or something to where you have them so you can easily copy and paste them. So the first template you can create, and this is really, I'm really gearing this right now towards the think about it portion. So you can create one email template that's just super simple. It just says, hey, has their name in it, and you can punch their name in there. If you have to do one thing, that's great. This is creating templates or things that you're writing over and over again. So you could use this pretty much for every single follow-up you have, because you make it general. You don't necessarily need to make it specific. At least you're communicating with them. So you're going to say, hey, Clay, as promised, reaching out to reconnect in reference to the project we spoke about previously and continue our conversation. When would be a good time for me to reach out to you for a quick phone call to answer any questions you may have? So that's one quick email template and put your signature on it. Another quick email template that you can make is, hey, blah, blah, blah. It's been a while since we spoke. What questions may have popped up while you were thinking things through? And then another email template you can create, which is my personal favorite. Have you given up on your project? And you can phrase that any way. And literally, it's a one-liner with your signature. A lot of times, you're going to get a huge response from this. So a super important thing for this, though, is when you're creating your templates, because of the way we're going to send these, if you don't have a fully automated system yet, is write a PS in it. And this PS is kind of important from this standpoint because, and you're gonna understand why here in a minute. Write a PS in your email templates. This is PS. If we already spoke again, feel free to ignore this. I set this as a scheduled reminder for both of us. So we're going to talk about scheduling these too. So write that in these templated emails, because then, and you can even communicate that to them when you're talking to them. So when you're having that think about it conversation or that follow-up conversation, when you're saying, hey, would it be okay if I followed up? And if they say yes, say fantastic. I'm going to set up a quick, and you ask them to even say, hey, would email or text be best for you for me to follow up with you? And at that point, you are going to let them know what you're going to do, because then they're going to know what's going to happen. Say, hey, listen, I'm going to set up a quick scheduled reminder for both of us. You're going to get it via text. If we happen to talk before then, you might still get that text. So I just want to let you know that I'm going to schedule it so that we both get reminders to try and get back in touch with each other. So that's the first thing you're going to do. Create those email templates. And if you want these, I'm happy to copy them, paste them, shoot me a DM, and I'm happy to send these to you and make them your own. But this will give you kind of a base to work off of. So the next thing you're going to want to do is, on most phones, and I know on an iPhone, you might need to Google this as well, but you can also create text templates. So you can create a text template that you can easily punch into your text field. And if you can't do this, again, on your phone, you can put it in notes. So all you have to do is copy and paste it, so you don't have to continuously type it out. But either way, write them down once, and then you can copy and paste them and use them over and over again. So one text template you can use is, hey, blah, blah, blah. What questions may have come up? What questions may have come to mind since we last spoke? You're just trying to get conversation to continue. Another one is, as promised, circling back, when might be a good time to catch a quick call about your project? And then another text template that you can use is, and then add this again to your text messages would be that PS. If we already spoke again, please ignore this. I use quick reminders to stay organized. So you're just communicating that to them, saying, hey, listen, if we already spoke, I apologize for you getting this. And really, some people might say, well, I don't want to send communications out if I already talk to people. You know what? I hear this all the time. And at the end of the day, you might care, and that's okay. But I don't. You're just trying to communicate. And if you're going to over communicate, it's better than not communicating at all. So you're either going to over communicate. Some people might get frustrated by it, but most people aren't, because they're going to appreciate the fact that you're being consistent and you actually care and you're communicating with those people. So, and then the third one is using simple automation base. So most email clients, and even on the iPhone, I know for sure, you can actually schedule these communications to go out. So what you can do, and you might need to Google this to find out whatever email client you're using, or text. If you're on a Droid, I'm sure there's a way to do it. I just don't use Droid. And if you're a Droid user, you should just probably get an iPhone anyway, because they're better. So, but if you just Google, how do I schedule a text message? I know on iPhone, like I said, you can do it. The Droid, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure you can do it. So you're going to have these templates, right? If you're having a conversation with somebody and you have that, and you ask that question, hey, is it okay if I reach back out to you in about 7 days and they say yes, right after you get off the call, copy that. And however they're comfortable, ask them, say, would email or text be best for you? Then you're communicating with them in the way they want to be communicated with. Get off the phone, go to your email client, and schedule that email and or text right after you get off the phone. If you do this, you're going to see a huge difference in your communication channels between your clients. And now, while that one touch may not be enough, if you're not doing it now, it's better than nothing. And now you're creating intentional consistency within your communication channels and your follow-up. So you want to continuously create, and you want to continuously keep the momentum of what next steps are. What next steps are in your communication channels with your clients. So it's not about being pushy. It's not being about salesy. It's all about creating that intentional consistency. And people want you to follow up with them. And if they don't want you to, you know what's going to happen? They're going to tell you to stop. So you just stop. So when you begin to lead your clients to a next step, and even yourself, your business and everything in it your lead management and your communications will become predictable again, because you'll have a process in place to do it. And it's all about creating a process. And even if you don't want to do this, I say this over and over again to so many people, because even in the automation world, there is a point in time where a client can get stuck. And you need to create a moment in your week, in your schedule, to where you sit down, and if you have a schedule set and you have a snapshot of all of your leads and you know where they are in your pipeline, you could sit down and in probably an hour follow up or create some kind of follow-up sequence. And you could, again, use these templates, copy and paste, and just send them out. It's all about creating a process and creating a way you want to follow up with these people. But doing this, creating these templates, scheduling these follow-up reminders is going to help you create an intentional communication and consistently follow up with people. So at the end of the day, this follow-up leak is really all comes through a consistency leak. You're not being consistent, and I keep saying it over and over again. And you need to create a system and a process in place so that you follow up consistently and you're not depending on this brain, because this brain can't take everything in all the time and remember everything. So you really, a lot of times I talk to people and they have a really good lead flow, but maybe they're not selling a bunch of stuff. And it really comes down to them needing a better follow-up process, a better rhythm for their follow-up process. So I hope today helped. I hope it gave you some insight. And if you hopped on a little bit late, I have some templates that you can use. And if you like them, shoot me a DM and I'm happy to send them out to you so you can use them over and over again. And just as a recap, if you use any email client that you're using, you should be able to schedule emails. If you don't know how to do it already, just Google it, and whatever email client you're using, it will walk you through how to set those up. And even on your phones, iPhone and or Droid, you should be able to schedule text messages too. So if you have those templates, you can throw them in and you can be consistent in your communications. So everyone has some homework this weekend. If you're not doing it already, create those templates, create some templates so that you can just fire them out consistently over time. And even if you set yourself up reminders, you're going to have those templates in place to fire them out. So I really appreciate everyone joining me today. And if you know of somebody that this might help, please feel free to share the live out. I really want to help as many people as I can. So please share it if you know somebody that could benefit from it. And I appreciate everybody showing up. And I will see you all on Monday, and have an awesome weekend. And Hey, Bradley, thanks a lot for joining. I hope you learned a little something. If not, and you missed some of it, go back. But please, anybody, feel free to shoot me a DM, and I'll send you those links out. All right. Thanks again. Have a great weekend, and stay warm if you're on the East Coast because it's kind of chilly. Have a great day, everyone. Bye. Before you go, if you want to learn more about what we're all about, head on over to KairouCX.com. You can reach out to us there or just dig in and learn more about how we can help businesses and help businesses like yours at Kairou CX. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on The Follow Through.